The president steered his foreign policy team hard right last night when he fired National Security Advisor, three-star General H.R. Mcmaster, replacing him with our old pal, Ambassador John Bolton. The switch, not popular among the usual suspects on the left and the mainstream media. They bent over backward to belittle Bolton's credentials.
I can't imagine a more reckless, more dangerous pick.
I find him to be dangerous, and it's put me into a state of anxiety today, frankly.
You know, I mean, I had a grim feeling in my belly this morning. I think that the risks of a war, of a shooting war with Iran and North Korea are substantially greater than they were this morning.
He's dangerous. He's dangerous. He's a warmonger. He has no problem thinking about starting a war.
A warmonger. Remember, aside from his extensive foreign policy experience, Bolton did serve as U.S. ambassador to the United Nations in the administration of Bush 43. But CNN, for example, dismissed him as just another Fox News talking head, a shallow assessment that did not sit well with the White House.
The irony is not lost on me that you have a lot of, quote, TV stars calling Larry Kudlow and John Bolton TV stars, TV personalities. It's kind of weird. They are men of intellectual heft and substantial accomplishments in their respective fields. I've known both of them for decades. That's what happens when you're old around here. And we're always very pleased, this country should be pleased, when people who don't need another chapter in their illustrious careers want to come in and serve the nation.
Everybody at this table has accepted an appointment of some sort. I'm going to be housing and urban development. Kimberly, you still going to take that job, ambassador to France?
No, yeah, right, exactly.
Get the Louis Vuittons.
Yes, exactly.
So what do you think? He's a hawk?
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Defends Iraq even to this day.
When they talk about someone saying, oh, well, they've been on television or they're talking as their TV stars, well, guess what? Because based on their credentials, they are highly sought after for their opinion, their intellect, based on their ability and their body of work. And this is no exception here with Larry Kudlow, and in particular, as we're discussing with John Bolton. When you look at his background in terms of what he's an ambassador to the United Nations under President George W. Bush, former Undersecretary for State for Arms Control and International Security Affairs, former Assistant Secretary of State for International Organization Affairs. He has quite an impressive background. He's very learned. Anybody who's actually open their mind and their ears to listen to what he has to say when he speaks, he's very learned. And by the way, why is it that the left and the Democrats aren't applauding the fact that he's very tough on Russia, and this will be no cakewalk for Putin? He is not a fan. He believes in freezing assets, et cetera, and a very hard line as it relates to Russia. This is not a yes man. This is somebody who's going to make the case to the president and be a strong advocate for what he believes in. He was considered right away in the beginning of the administration to take this position. He didn't get it that time, and now the president has decided that this is the right choice.
Isn't this what the mainstream media always does? President Trump was a reality TV star instead of a businessman. Hope Hicks was a model instead of a successful PR person. And now Ambassador Bolton is a Fox News talking head as opposed to the long list of credentials that he's done. I mean, this is what the mainstream media does in an effort to belittle the people around President Trump, belittle him. They want the American people.
Fox News.
Well, they want the American people to see him as a clown, and he's surrounded by buffoons. I mean, this is what the mainstream media does intentionally to try to discredit the president and everyone around him.
But the media thing aside, isn't the real problem that he wants to bomb North Korea back into the Stone Age, Jesse?
Well, they said that about President Trump, that he was this big warmonger when he said fire and fury. And now look what's happened. There's a historic negotiation afoot on the peninsula, and we could have real progress. So I don't buy that. Obama hired 25 mainstream media personalities. Remember Richard Stengel, Jay Carney, Samantha Power? They had no problem in the revolving door with the Obama administration. So Trump hires a few Fox News personalities, and he's stacking the deck. Come on, this guy's worked for 2 Bushes, a Reagan, and this is going to be his 4th Republican administration. Yeah. He's a great diplomat, as you laid out. And, of course, he's a little bit of a hawk on Iran.
A little bit.
He's very suspicious about that deal. China, he's trying to check their expansion.
Hawkman
and like you said, Russia. Yeah, it's not because he's from Fox, it's because he's a hawk.
He's a definite. Do you worry that war is more likely now?
No, I think when Bolton walks into a room, everybody else becomes the good cop. You know, this is what Trump is doing, is he's surrounding himself with hawks because he's actually, if you look, kind of a dove. So what he's doing, he's building up this kind of idea that you don't mess with us, but I'll be the one. Like, he's now the rational one, which is in terms of foreign policy. But the thing that that bugs me about this is that, all this shallow talk coming from CNN, who's now turned into Skinamax. They're now Inside Edition on crystal meth. They spent, I don't know, a whole hour.
Brian Stelter, are you listening?
Our nation's hall monitor, Brian Stelter, apparently doesn't watch his own network. There they spent an hour talking to this woman, McDougal, a consensual relationship that we've all pretty much accepted as real. Imagine if CNN had cared about the non-consensual contact by a Clinton. And I don't mean Hillary when she slips and hits the pavement. The thing is, I guess my point is I don't understand why they're doing this. Because if we all know what Trump was like before he was President Trump, and we've accepted his flaws because we realize there might be something else there, 60-some-odd million people made that decision, then why would you devote an hour to this, if only to hurt the First Lady?
Well, because they're in third place. They have to try something.
That's it. They're turning into Skinamax for ratings. But there's also only one real victim in this, and that's the First Lady.
First Lady.
It's the First Lady.
They say that this is the propaganda network. They're the soft porn network now.
They need that soft porn music in the background now. And the other thing too, which is interesting to show you a difference.
And wear black socks.
Yeah, the difference between Republicans and Democrats. When it happened to Clinton, the Democrats went after the women. We accept Stormy Daniels' words. We accept McDougal's words. We don't call them bimbos.
Both their words. They both claim to be with Trump during the same golf tournament at Lake Tahoe.
Like we care when Stormy Daniels is taking a lie detector test.
He must have been really busy between his golf. One of the survivors of the...
You got wrapped?
Sorry.
10 minutes ago.
I apologize.
All right, let's get serious.
For nothing.
Okay.
Let's get serious. All right, enough about softcore. One of the survivors of the Parkland school massacre takes a swipe at Time magazine for its latest cover featuring just some of his fellow survivors. That very serious topic is next.